Hey, Trev here. That's me. In this little new segment, I'm going to try something a little different. We're going to do a little game that I like to call Improv storytelling. So what I've got here is a random word generator. Ooh. So when I hit a button, it's going to give me a random word. And what I'm going to try to do, and this is all fresh, I'm just trying this out, is I'm going to create a story out of whatever word comes up on the screen. So I don't know what the word is. It's completely random. Right now it says profit. If I hit it again, it'll say forecast. It'll just randomly choose a word, any number of syllables, any length. It could be anything. So I'm going to try this out, see what kind of stories I come up with when I hit this random word generator. So, improv storytelling. Here we go. I hit the button. I'll even put it down so that everyone can see here if you're watching on YouTube. Right now, it says forecast. I'm going to hit the word generator. And now it says bell. So, the alarm clock rang. And the children had to go to school today, but they didn't want to because they were afraid that the bell for recess would ring, and they didn't want to go to recess because they're afraid of getting hit by dodgeballs. So that recess bell is this terrifying noise. And it hovers right over their desk. This extremely loud recess bell. So they didn't want to go. So instead of going to school, these kids would pretend to have different diseases. Mom, I don't feel good today. I have a fever. Mom, I don't feel good today. I had too much ice cream yesterday. Mom, I had too many donuts today. I can't go. So over and over and over again, they would get away with it. And I mean, the mom is like, sure, yeah, sure, go for it. She's pretty chill. She's pretty chill for a mom. So the kids got away with it, all in the desire to avoid this extremely loud bell that for some reason was hovering over their desk. I don't know who designed the school, but jeez, it's like my apartment here, because there's like a fire alarm. It hovers right over my bed, and when it goes off, it's like rah, rah, rah. It's like a kid going through puberty and screaming at the top of his lungs. That's what my fire alarm sounds like. So this bell that keeps going off, I don't know, someone should probably fix it at the school. But until that happens, these kids pretend not to go to school. They do everything they can to just not hear that bell. So that's their thing. And what happens is, over the years, the mom decides to homeschool the kids just to keep them from this fear of the loud bell. And it's just the bell. Like, they can go and watch fireworks, they can go and watch scary movies, and it's perfectly fine. But it's the bell. It's that loud bell that they just don't want to deal with. So the mom homeschools the kids. And she does a pretty good job. Like, they hold their own, and they do like social extracurricular activities. So they go out and they play soccer and hockey. So they get out and they're active, right? They're not just at home getting homeschooled. So what happens is, over the years, they don't know what the sound of a bell is anymore because they've forgotten all about it. They grow older, they go to university where there's no bells. It's just normal classroom studies. So what happens is they just stop hearing the bell. The two kids, they become teachers. So now just remember here that they've forgotten what the bell sounds like. And it's been years since they've heard the bell. So they just become teachers, thinking, this is okay. This is a good pursuit. Like, I want to become a teacher. For some reason, they forgot. Usually if you have PTSD, you wouldn't forget. But in this particular case, they forgot about the bell. And they went to school for 8 years to learn how to become a teacher. They go through this education system to get their degree 4 years. They decide to go travel for a year, and they go back and they get a special professional development education in order to get their full license to become a teacher. And interestingly enough, they decide to become high school teachers, both of these kids. And it's not until they start teaching on that first day of class that they realize, when the bell comes off, that they're terrified of that noise. And what happens is they run out of the school screaming when the bell goes off. And they just keep running, and they keep running, and they keep running further and further away from the noise that is this high school bell. And that's all they do. They just keep running. They run for 1,000 kilometers. And then they stop. They take a breath. Actually, they take a breath throughout. They don't just go 1,000 kilometers. I don't think really that's that easy to do unless you're kind of, conditioned for it. But they keep going. So over many days, many years, they travel 1,000 kilometers, further and further away from the bell, in the furthest direction they can. And it might seem odd, but if you're ever scared of something, you might run away. You might go as fast as you can in the other direction. And that's what these kids who've grown up to become high school teachers have done. They reassociated this bell with terror. And they did what they only knew they could, which is run away and hide from it. So they kept doing that and doing that and doing that. And over the years, they kept hiding away from their fears. And that's really the end of the story. They decide that they're just going to avoid that bell for the rest of their lives. And as they're getting older, they realize, it would have been good to have overcome that fear and to have enjoyed that loud noise and to just embrace it and just go with it. And it would have been good to do that, because had they have embraced that bell, they could have inspired other kids to grow up and be teachers and do things and travel and see the world. But instead they decided to keep running from that bell. But there's a positive note. There's a positive ending to all of this. And it's that they ran and ran and ran, and they saw the world over the span of that 1,000 kilometers of traveling. And they saw so many different things as they ran. and they became better people because of it. So even though they were scared of something, they were able to channel their fears and go in a different direction and see what else is out in the world. And it's okay, because if you miss one thing, you can see something else. And they didn't let this bell get in their way. And they just explored. So it's interesting. It's very interesting, the case of this recessed bell. And, kids can have sort of these fears of something, or maybe they're scared of running into something that they're absolutely terrified of, like a clown or a vampire or a loud bell. I know when I was growing up, I was afraid of firecrackers. So it's interesting that a bell can inspire somebody to run in the other direction and see as much of the world as possible. There's nothing wrong with that at all, as long as you don't let it eat away at you. And maybe the fact that they had forgotten about this bell is a good thing, and that they can get on with their lives, and when the time comes that it arrives again, well, it's a fight or flight situation. And maybe you can decide, hey, I'm going to fight this bell, or you're going to run away, go in a different direction. So that's all I've got for this story. That's the story of the bell. And this is the first time I've done this. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Maybe I'll do it again sometime tomorrow. But I'm having fun with this. So I'll probably put this on my podcast channel, and then I'll probably put it on YouTube, and I'll just keep doing this, try different things. I have a bunch of books that I published. Shameless plug. I have more stories. I have stories about many different things, and that's all on YouTube as well. So, yeah. Because I'm Trev. That's me. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, toodles.